Hello, friend, and welcome to Inside the Dark. Thank you for joining me.
Most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children.
This is not the time for you to argue your case. Count 5, count 7, count 12, count 17. Each of those felonies are the second degree.
The parents and grandparents of 16 children who were found hidden in a small room, living in deplorable conditions in a Hamden, Ohio house of horrors, are facing a judge in court, while their children and grandchildren receive medical care to heal them from living in filth and human feces for at least 4 years. Now, neighbors are speaking out, saying they had no idea any children even lived in the home, meaning they were probably never allowed outside in the sunshine and fresh air. And one of the first responders who transported the children to the hospital talks about the horrific conditions he witnessed at the scene.
Pure evil. Those were the words used to describe what was happening behind closed doors at a home in Vinton County.
4 suspects are facing serious charges now after 16 children were discovered in what authorities call a house of horrors. Sheriff's deputies searched that home on Tuesday, finding kids covered in feces, urine, and filth, held in a 12 by 12 room for 4 years. Detectives say some of them were so ill they were close to dying.
Chief Investigator Lisa Rontola is digging into how the family kept these children hidden there for years. First, we begin with Annabelle Kinney, who talked with neighbors living doors down from this horrific scene.
This is the home where the 16 children were being kept. Neighbors that live just across the street say if they would have known what was happening, they would have jumped in to help.
It's disgusting, and I didn't sleep a whole lot last night, and I prayed a whole lot that that all them kids get better.
It looked like something out of a third world country. That's how Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson described the conditions inside the home where investigators say 16 children were being kept.
Just almost beyond comprehension that this stuff can happen in our country, and that it can happen in a house at the hands of people who are in charge of taking care of kids.
Wilson says 7 of the kids were sent to Columbus area hospitals on Tuesday. Josh Odell says he can see the backyard of the home where police say the kids were being kept and hidden.
We have a little girl ourselves, so it immediately alarmed me like there's some very bad people that was just right there.
He says in his 5 years of living there, he's never seen any children and wants more answers.
Did they give birth at the hospital to all these kids? Where's those records? And something that struck me is that these people are not from around here.
Officials say the children were not enrolled in school. The Vinton County Sheriff says due to the children being isolated and some children being developmentally disabled, it has impacted the investigation.
It's one of the investigative challenges we have to face is that they are limited. They can't communicate.
Joseph Stewart is another neighbor that lives next door. He says he's seen the 4 people charged going to Dollar General every once in a while, but never any kids.
Kind of ashamed that they did stuff like that, and after I seen the pictures of the mugshot today, and they look pretty rough.
Odell says the guilt of not knowing is taking a toll on him.
I really hope they all get better. But I mean, it obviously is weighed on my conscience that I wished I could have done something.
Now, investigators say the suspects are the kids' grandmother, grandfather, and father and mother, and that they could have been living in a 12 by 12 room for years.
Mother, father, grandmother, and grandfather who could face more than 100 years behind bars. Gary Siders Jr. and Sr. facing 17 counts, Elizabeth Siders and mom Christina facing 16.
These are serious allegations, and if you are unsure on what to do, I will enter a not guilty plea for you until you can consult with counsel.
They tell me the 18-year-old could not spell her own name. The others were also not enrolled in school. Did these children know how to read and write?
Yeah, again, we're working through that right now. Some of these children couldn't even speak.
Investigators say the family kept children hidden for years, avoiding being part of any medical or government records since 2008.
The facts of the case are horrible, but you had a front row seat to the emotion, and I think that's what we're most interested in.
Okay, all right. Ready? When I first initially got there to be a driver for the EMS, one of the squads, there was just a line of cars, a line of BCI, the sheriff office, Benton County EMA. There was just a whole slew of cars, and it was kind of a cluster because that's a small road to go through. And when we got there, I got out of the truck. I told the other firefighter with me to take the truck back to the station. They'll drop me off. I started walking up to the scene, and they start screaming at me, "We need a driver." So I get into the squad. Sure enough, we have a load of children in the back that were clearly and not in the greatest shape. They were very quiet. Other than that, we turned around, ran lights and sirens to the hospital for a quick turnaround because we may have to transport more children. And all I can think of is this is a big scene for our tiny community. Hampden doesn't have that many people. Benton County and the whole spec of it doesn't have a lot of resources. So we contacted Jackson County, and they got more squads there, first responders. And they arrived pretty quickly as well. And I mean, it was a situation we're not used to dealing with. You know, I work for Jackson County EMS too, part-time. And when we go into houses, there's a few that we know about that are kind of these kind of conditions, but not so much that you see that number of children that are in that situation. If they were, you report that. This one just kind of caught us out of surprise, really, because we didn't really expect. This house didn't even look like anyone was living in it, so that was kind of challenging.
Can you describe at all what the children inside the back of that car looked like, and just sights, smells, everything that you encountered when you had those kids in the back seat?
Well, if anyone has been into a house that has these kind of conditions, you can smell, you can see the cockroaches and stuff like that, bugs just in general. And the conditions, you know, bugs get on the children and stuff, and they scratch and they bite and all that stuff. So their condition wasn't the greatest. As far as the smell, it's just a certain kind of smell. If you've ever been into a house that had those kind of conditions, it's not very pleasant. You know, typically I wear a mask if I endure those kind of conditions, just a face mask, to kind of help cover that up, because it's awful.
Potent?
Yes. It sticks with you. And it sticks on your clothes, and you can smell it for hours afterwards until you can go change.
Do you know at all roughly the age range of the kids who were in the back seat? Because you said there were 4 that you had.
I know that 2 of them were small. I don't know age range, but I knew they were all pretty young kids that we dealt with.
Like elementary school age?
Yes, yes.
And, I mean, I see that you're married. I don't know if you have children. No, but just, how did it make you feel to see children, you know, in such a state, you know, and being that person to get them help that they needed?
Well, that's just what we do. Seeing children like that, and I think Sheriff Ryan Kane kind of touched on that, our livestock around here live in better conditions. So.
And I'd like to go back to that moment when you were driving, when you kind of looked over your shoulder and they were in the back. Bring us to that moment. What you remember? Is there an image that day? Did you see the child's eyes? Did they look at you? Did they touch you? Did they smile at you? Is there some haunting memory you have of providing care to these kids?
Mainly I was focused on driving, getting down to the hospital. Our closest hospital is from Hampden, probably about 20 minutes. I knew it was just quiet. That's what it was. Blank expressions. Of course, they were scared. They've never endured anything like that before. They didn't know where they were going, that kind of situation.
Did they have any questions for you as you were taking
They didn't speak to me. I'd try to have limited contact unless I was asked to help with the children. So when we arrived down at the ER, I helped unload the children to the hospital. So.
You said this sort of stuff doesn't really happen here. Do you think it'll ever happen again, or is this a once-in-a-career emergency?
Well, you just don't know. You really don't know what's going on behind someone's door. I mean, clearly, that house, nobody had any indication that there were that many children in that house. So, are you supposed to go knocking door to door and ask people? You really can't. So,
I got what I need. Do you got what you need?
I think so. Only thing that my team is asking for, we see that Gary Jr. has a pretrial on the 9th for an indecency charge of some kind. I think that's a separate case number.
Yes, that is separate.
Go ahead.
When we have it, so can we print that off as well? So I have it.
We don't handle that. That's in county court.
That's in county?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I can take you over there.
Perfect.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Inside the Dark. Take care, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, where I'll be waiting to take you back inside the dark.